Hey there guys, Skippy here from Skippy 6 Gaming, coming to you guys. We're going to be talking about the beta and the new build log that came out. It's been updated, and yeah, it's given you the world's largest changelog I've ever seen in my life. Also, I am having trouble making this video because every single time I go into my Freshie world, which is just a survival world, it decides that it wants to crash the game. About 2 minutes into the video, this is attempt number 3, so I'm just going into a random world. I think this is because Freshie has been imported from an Xbox One. I know that every time I put give structure block or give command block to myself, it also crashes the game, and I just need the game to operate long enough for me to tell you guys about the changelog. So you know what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump on in. 356 likes, go for it, go get it, and yeah, everything's gonna be super awesome. And we have Paul Does Stuff, first place, notification squad, and yeah, so I think in this video, I'm not even sure what I was doing at this video. I think this is a video that was never released, I'm not sure. So let's just find somewhere that's semi-safe. I think, oh, we're on creative, so we're fine. Perfect, let's throw this up on the screen. So, tweaks. It is now much easier to see underwater after drinking a potion of water breathing and a potion of night vision. Rebalance most of the game's sound effects, music such as rain being much quieter. Rain was really loud before, so I think they made it quieter. Added sound effects for placing Eyes of Ender and end portals and stuff like that. As you know, we had that on console, and now we have it here too. I love it. I keep looking at the screen because the mob cap is so ferocious on Bedrock Edition. You turn around and make a video, you're dead. Yeah. The recipe book can now be toggled on and off when using classic UI. Of course, that means user interface, and that has been pretty much, I would say, the curse in Mojang's side for this exchange. Optimized chunk generation and rendering. Meanwhile, I would say that that was one of the things that I thought was the strongest win on this. Increased performance when launching fireworks that were crafted with a large ball fireworks star trail. Redstone components can now be placed again on observer blocks. Again, observer blocks are super messed up. And yeah, fixed not being able to eat on converted world, Xbox One only. See, this is something that's coming up. You see this, a lot of the problems, just like how I had to jump in this world right now, is those converted worlds really mess things up. Fixed several crashes that occurred when split screen players joined the game, left the game, or signed out of Xbox. Fixed a crash when deleting a world that contained non-Latin characters in its name. Oh no, I saw, actually, I'm the one who found that when I was typing some non-Latin characters in the name. Fixed a crash that occurred when painting items in the recipe book using touch controls. Expanding a list of items on the recipe book will now automatically scroll the list if needed. The recipe book cursor will now properly reflect the proper position when using a controller. Fixed crafting status consistency on the recipe book. Accepting an invite to a game you are in the process no longer causes a crash. There's been lots of crashes. Fixed the scroll bar on how to play when using touch controls. Crafting with a controller and pressing the Y button will now state that it will craft all, not just a full stack. Clouds will now render through glass. I didn't notice that one. That one pretty much would stand out too. I can't believe I didn't notice. Redstone dust will now visually show its proper state when active. So I'm pretty sure the redstone wasn't lighting up, so you wouldn't be able to see, you know what I mean, where it's going. And yeah, let's keep going down here. I have like the bottom one blocked off on my screen. On-screen tooltips will no longer show release when looking at a fence, only when a lead is attached. Drop-down menus are no longer hidden when opened closed to the bottom of the screen. Torches can once again be placed on monster spawners and will not spawn mobs if covered in torches. So I didn't know that. I don't think I actually attacked a monster spawner while we're doing this. Beds have been blown up, will now leave. Before they were leaving like a half a bed, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on. Breaking an item out of the frame will no longer do breaking animation and play on the item frame itself. So that's page 1 that I have here. Holy cow, that's getting big. Let's jump over. Number 2. Oh my gosh. I don't know, like, it's so much stuff. Spiders that climb towards the ceiling can now attack players. Yep, pressing the X button on the hotbar will now clear the hotbar, not take half of a stack. Removed an extra how to play icon in the inventory crafting window. Languages, titles, and settings are no longer invisible until highlighted. Controller tooltips now show when music disc can be inserted into a jukebox or when book and quill can be used. Again, these are just these like kind of quick tabs on the bottom corner. The Gui Scale Toggle slider is now correctly aligned with different scales. That's for Android. Fixed split screen, players sometimes having the same gamertag skin interface. Improved performance of the menu background sitting after being idle in the title screen. Cloning a command block over an existing command block will now properly replace the command. That's something that's pretty cool. Again, I can't even get command blocks because it crashes my game, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, fixed bows on the ground no longer animate when eating food or items that has a right clicking action. Fixed locator maps not showing proper movement and color to indicate player position. It is now possible to scroll through world descriptions in the marketplace using a controller. Damage will no longer be dealt to players and mounted horses when applying a saddle. I didn't notice that one. That would be pretty bad. Everybody takes damage. Maps received when starting map is enabled will now have a zoom level of 3/4. Chat will no longer scroll when using the D-pad, and host options are open. The empty map recipe once again appears in the recipe book, so I don't think that was in there. Fixed search results on the recipe book so that they show relevant items, not just craftable items. The /XP command can once again reduce a player's level by using negative values, so I think you can only give XP, and now you can take it away too. Top slabs can once again be placed using the fill command. Someone showed me a bug on Twitter that you can't tops slabs over top of a chest, makes it so you can't open them. Fixed chat message of wrong players sleeping in beds. The offhand slot will now equip an item after using the /replace command without having to restart the world. Horses and players will no longer receive fall damage when riding on blocks that are placed a couple of blocks above the ground. Endermen will no longer spawn and immediately die on peaceful difficulty. That would have been funny to watch. Single iron bars and glass panes now have the appropriate hitbox. Quitting a world with a resource pack no longer partially applies the pack to the main menu. Maps will now render properly on worlds imported from Xbox One. So I had a map. Maps working fine for me. They always were before too. Maps and offhand are now scaled properly horizontally. 2-player split screen. Guest accounts names will now appear properly. The hotbar will no longer appear below the screen safe area when playing split screen. So like on this right here, if you were split screen, you wouldn't see that whole hotbar. So that's pretty good. Guest account names will now, I already did that, so let's go. Holy cow, this is a mouthful. Added on-screen controller hints to the create world. Fixed sides of blocks not rendering at the edge of the screen in third-person mode. Fixed achievements menu not showing unlocked achievements if the console disconnects. Fixed split screen players logged in as guests getting stuck in the loading screen. Players can now join servers via invites, selecting pages, virtual keyboard to appear, fixing several patterns that became transparent. So we're on page 3, thank God. Honestly, this is so huge. I'm okay with that. Look how big page 3 is too. Fixed chunks of terrain missing after synchronization of saved worlds in creative mode from another console. Split screen players will now have their location and inventory saved after leaving the world. That's pretty good. Fixed a crash when a command block runs a command that deletes the block it's in. That's pretty unique. Changing skins in game will now properly apply, so that's pretty good too. After clearing the recipe book search bar with a controller, reopening the recipe book will no longer bring back the previously entered text. Fixed the positions of bows and potions when playing split screen. The inventory and containers no longer contain invisible items. Fixed a crash that occurs when the game is suspended and resumed when chat screen is open. Falling into one block of water will no longer inflict damage. That was something that came back in one of the old TU updates. People were jumping in, because a lot of people jump into a one block of water to come down from their, you know, mob farms and stuff, and they were just dying. It's hilarious. Signed in players that launched the game in offline mode no longer have Steve as their gamer tag. And empty friends tab, didn't notice. Falling gravel onto retracting pistons no longer causes them to fall into the same block and overlap. Disabling view bobbing while split screen no longer makes item in hand visible, and now we have fixes from bugs in retail. So I'm not sure exactly how this fits in. I know, I guess retail is the disc version, so villagers will now close doors and stop themselves from getting attacked by zombies. Hype. The proper sound effect will now play after looking at a direct that ooh, wow, weird, don't do that, Skippy. XP orbs should no longer disappear in blocks and be easier for people to collect. Fixed dragon egg not breaking when falling on a torch, and breaking anvils. Slash replacement item repeating no longer makes it impossible for players to change inventory slots. Creepers will no longer explode if they lose sight of a player. Creepers exploding inside minecarts and boats will not destroy the boat. That's pretty cool, actually. I want to test that one out. That has some direction. Attempting to load a world before signing in will no longer make the world unable to load. Glazed terracotta blocks can be pushed but no longer pulled by sticky pistons. So that's a thing. A lot of people think terracotta is immovable, but it isn't. They can be pushed. You just can't pull them back with a sticky piston. So that's pretty cool. The hide particles are limited / effect will now hide particles selected of status set to true, and fix the hitbox on the chorus plant. So yeah, thank God about those chorus plants, you know. Woo-wee. And yeah, so there you go, guys. We got a bunch of stuff. We did our stuff. We talked about it. The build 8 is out and live. Jump on in and try it out. Let me know what you think, guys. Like I said, it's not really easy street. I want to start doing tutorials, but yeah, I'm kind of worried, well, worried that doing any sort of tutorial here is going to be a waste when they just change something in a week and then it doesn't work anymore. And yeah, the redstone is kind of unique on this one here, so I'm not going to mess with it. I think what we'll do is jump on now, guys. We have talked about a changelog for over 10 minutes. Holy cow, I'm out of breath. I'm going to go need to take a nap. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to smash the like before you go. Don't forget as well to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, tune in for more daily Minecraft uploads, Let's Plays, love, tutorials. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.